It's The Senate will come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Bridges. Buckner. Buckner.
Colleagues online, if you can turn on your cameras and unmute yourselves for the roll, thank you.
Buckner.
Present.
Coleman. Cook. Quorum. Danielson.
Good morning.
Fenberg. Fields.
Excused.
Gardner. Janot. Gonzalez. Gonzalez. Hanson. Heisey. Holbert. Hawkins Lewis.
Buenos dias.
Kirkmeyer. Colker. Lee. Liston. Lundeen. Moreno. Pedersen.
Here.
Priola. Rankin. Rodriguez.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Simpson. Smallwood.
Excused.
Sonnenberg. Story.
Here.
Winter. Woodward. Zenzinger. President Garcia.
Excused.
Madam President.
Here. The morning roll call is 32 present, 0 absent, 3 excused. We have a quorum. Senator Hawkins Lewis, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, Madam President. On this last day of important work, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance justice.
Approval of the journal. Senator Kirkmeyer.
I do mean that. Thank you, Madam President. Oh my gosh. This is my last day of this week to be able to do this. So I hope I have everyone's attention. Thank you, Madam President, again. I move that the reading of the journal for Thursday, February 25th, 2021, be dispensed with, and that the journal please be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You have all heard that moving motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. No! That motion is adopted. Senate Services.
February 26, correctly printed Senate Bill 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, correctly engrossed. Senate Bill 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 4, 5, 83, 90, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113 correctly enrolled, SR 5.
Committee reports.
February 25th, Committee on Education. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 100 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation. February 25th, Committee on Education. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 104 be amended as follows, and so amended, be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation. February 25th, Madam President, the Committee on Education has had in consideration, has had a hearing on the following presidents and recommends the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirm members of the Board of Trustees for the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind for term expiring July 1st, 2022. Michael George, Merrifield of Colorado Springs, Colorado, Democrat, occasioned by the resignation of Nancy Inez Brown, appointed for terms expiring July 1st, 2024. Teresa Lee Rayford of Canyon City, Colorado, Democrat, reappointed. Megan Sarah Klassen of Denver, Colorado, Democrat, appointed. February 25th, Madam President, the Committee on Education has had in consideration, has a hearing on the following appointments and recommends appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirm members of the Board of Trustees for the University of Northern Colorado effective December 31st, 2020, for terms expiring December 31st, 2024. Richard Lee Monfort of Greeley, Colorado, to serve as a Republican, appointed. Patricia Borrell Rivera of Denver, Colorado, to serve as a Democrat, reappointed.
Third reading of bills, consent calendar. Mr. Pineda, please read all the titles to all the bills on the consent calendar.
Senate Bill 90 by Senator Smallwood concerning the renewal of a small group health benefit plan issued to employer that no longer merits the definition of small employer after the small group plan was first issued. Senate Bill 41 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Corrections. Senate Bill 42 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the offices of Governor, Lieutenant Governor, and State Planning and Budgeting. Senate Bill 43 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing. Senate Bill 44 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Human Services. Senate Bill 45 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Judicial Department. Senate Bill 46 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Law. Senate Bill 47 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Natural Resources. Senate Bill 48 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Personnel. Senate Bill 50 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of State. Senate Bill 51 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of the Treasury. Senate Bill 52 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning funding for capital construction and making supplemental appropriation in connection therewith. Senate Bill 53 by Senator Moreno and Senator Moreno and Zenzinger and Representative McCluskey and McClatchin concerning adjustments to school funding for the 2020-21 budget year and in connection therewith making appropriations. Senate Bill 54 by Senators Hansen and Rankin and Representative McCluskey concerning transfers from the general fund to cash funds to be used to address wildland fires and in connection therewith making an appropriation. Senate Bill 109 by Senators Hansen and Rankin and Representative McCluskey and Herod concerning the authority of the Aeraria bond to make bond payments from sources other than the revenues generated by the auxiliary facility on behalf of which such bonds are issued and in connection therewith making an appropriation. Senate Bill 113 by Senators Fenberg and Rankin, Representative McCluskey and Lentz concerning state funding on firefighting aircraft to respond to wildfires.
Please add Senator Fields to the roll. Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Madam President. There was a last-minute request to remove Senate Bill 53 from the third reading of bills consent calendar, and it will be on the third reading of bills final passage calendar. Madam President, I move the passage of all the bills that are still on the third reading of bills consent calendar, which includes Senate bills 90, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 50, 51, 52, 54, 109, and Senate Bill 113.
Is there any discussion on any of the bills?
53.
Are there any no votes on any of the bills on the consent calendar? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, Senate Bill 90 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senator Sonnenberg. Senator Woodward. Senator Rankin. Senator Kirkmeyer. Senator Liston. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 90, Senator Lundin, Senator Gardner, Senator Priola, Senator Scott, Senator Coram, Senator Simpson, Senator Cook, Senator Heisey, Senator Liston, I have you. Minority Leader Holbert. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 41 is passed. Co-sponsors of Senate Bill 41. Senator Lee, Senator Gonzalez, Senator Pedersen, Senator Buckner, Senator Jaquez Lewis, Senator Story. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 41. Senator Cook. Senator Woodward. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 42 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 42. Senator Bridges. Senator Jaquez Lewis. Senator Pedersen, Senator Buckner, Senator Kolker, with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 43 is adopted. Co-sponsors to Senate Bill 43. Senator Pedersen, Senator Buckner, Senator Janal, Senator Kolker, Senator Story, with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 44 is passed. Co-sponsors to Senate Bill 44. Senator Kolker, Senator Buckner,
It's fine, he'll text me if you want.
with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 45 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 45, Senator Gonzalez, Senator Pedersen, Senator Lee, Senator Gardner, Senator Janal, Senator Woodward, Senator Cook, Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 45, Senator Kolker, Senator Story, Senator Buckner, with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 46 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 46. Senator Pedersen, Senator Buckner, Senator Lee, with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 47 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 47. Please add the president. Senator Liston. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 48 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 48. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 50 is passed. Co-sponsors for Senate Bill 50. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 51 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 51. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 52 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 52. Senator Lee, Senator Sonnenberg, Senator Pedersen, Senator Story, Senator Kolker, Senator Cook, Senator Liston, with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 54 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 54. Senator Simpson, Senator Heisey, Majority Leader Fenberg, Senator Gonzalez, Senator Janal, Senator Liston, Senator Jaquez Lewis, Senator Buckner, Senator Story, Senator Woodward, Senator Priola, Senator Pedersen, Senator Lee, Senator Kirkmeyer, Minority Leader Holbert, Senator Sonnenberg, Senator Kolker, Senator Bridges, Senator Winter, Senator Gardner, Senator Lundin, Senator Scott, Senator Cook, Smallwood, Please add the president. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 109 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senate Bill 109. Senators Sonnenberg, Gonzalez, Heisey, Buckner, Story, Pedersen, Zenzinger, Huckes Lewis, Kolker, with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 113 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 113. Senators Lee, Winter, Pedersen, Gonzalez, Kolker, Moreno, Lundin, Gardner, Simpson, Bridges, Kirkmeyer, Woodward, Liston, Heisey, Story, Buckner, Huckes Lewis. Please add the president. Please add Senator Smallwood to the roll. Third reading of bills. Mr. Panetta, please read the title to Senate Bill 83.
Senate Bill 83 by Senators Hansen and Representative Harrod concerning the modification of the requirement of the fiscal year 2021-22 that the annual appropriations for student financial assistance for higher education increase by at least the same percentage as the aggregate percentage increase of all general fund appropriations to institutions of higher education.
Senator Hansen.
Thank you, Madam President. I move Senate Bill 83 on third reading and final passage.
Is there any further discussion? The Senate will stand in a brief recess while the computer catches up to our floor work. The Senate will come back to order. Colleagues, we are on Senate Bill 83. Are there any no votes? Senator Sonnenberg will be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 83. Senators Cook, Senator Woodward, Smallwood, with a vote of no votes, Lundin, Kirkmeyer, Liston, with a vote of 27 ayes, 7 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 83 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 83. Senators Buckner, Story, Kolker, Mr. Panetta, please read the title to Senate Bill 110.
Senate Bill 110 by Senators Enzinger and Priola and Representatives Harrod and Exum concerning funding for the safe revitalization of Colorado's main streets.
Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Madam President. I move Senate Bill 110 on third reading and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 110? Seeing none, are there any no votes on Senate Bill 110? No votes. Senator Sonnenberg, Woodward, Liston, Minority Leader Holbert, Senator Woodward, did you wish to be recorded as no vote? Senator Smallwood. Senator Scott. Senator Lundin. With a vote of 27 ayes, 7 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 110 is passed. Co-sponsors Senate Bill 110. Senators Winter, Buckner, Janal, Fields, Bridges, Hansen, Moreno, Kolker. Senator Winter, I have you. Senator Danielson, Story, Pedersen, Lee, Jaquez Lewis. Please add the president. Mr. Panetta, please read the title to Senate Bill 111.
Senate Bill 111 by Senator Moreno and Gonzalez and Representatives Harrod and Ortiz concerning the creation of a program to support entrepreneurs in the marijuana industry.
Senator Moreno.
Thank you, Madam President. I move Senate Bill 111 on third reading and final passage.
Is there any further discussion? Senator Gardner.
Thank you, Madam President. And members, we had a good discussion about this during seconds, but I wanted to speak on thirds just briefly. This bill is, in the view of several of us, bad public policy. We support the encouragement, financial aid when necessary to small businesses, disadvantaged businesses, to entrepreneurs who have not had access to capital and so forth. But this bill essentially takes $4 million to encourage the growth of the cannabis industry and for entrepreneurs in the cannabis industry. I said yesterday, I wonder, would we think it was a good idea to encourage entrepreneurs in the tobacco industry, entrepreneurs in the liquor industry, entrepreneurs in the gaming industry? And in fact, some of those industries, the entrepreneurs may be eligible for certain other programs, but this is aimed at the growth of the cannabis industry. It is bad public policy. It is not a good use of the marijuana cash fund, which we legislatively chose a variety of priorities for that. We're overriding those priorities, and those priorities had to do with drug prevention and mental health and education. And by doing this, we're contravening everything that is in the marijuana cash fund list of priorities. But I heard yesterday from the good senator from Adams County, our JVC member, that $4 million is just a drop in the bucket. And I guess, as one of my colleagues says, you got to fill the bucket. But this is not a good place to use that drop in the bucket. But I will remember the next time I need $4 million that it's just a drop in the bucket. It's a drop in the bucket that is bad public policy in my view, and I'll be a no vote. Thank you.
Any further discussion on Senate Bill 111? Are there any no votes on Senate Bill 111? Senators Scott, Cook, Minority Leader Holbert, Lundeen, Simpson, Liston, Kirkmeyer, Sonnenberg, Gardner, Smallwood, Priola, Heisey, Coram, Woodward. Rankin. With a vote of 19 ayes, 15 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 111 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Hansen, Senator Pineda, please read the title to Senate Bill 112.
Senate Bill 112 by Senators Garcia and Simpson, Representative McCluskey and Wheel, concerning a 2020-21 state fiscal year transfer from the general fund to the capital construction fund for increased access at certain state parks and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Senator Simpson.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam President. I move Senate Bill 112 on third reading of bills, final passage, and encourage an aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam President. I will be brief. We indeed had a good discussion on this one yesterday. I'm just going to reemphasize, where should our priorities be? Is this $20 million, can we use it better on Senate Bill 111, on Senate Bill 110, on Senate Bill 83, on Senate Bill 113, Senate Bill 109. Are those what our priorities should be? Especially when you have an enterprise that is supposed to run as a business and run on their own and actually have the hundreds of millions of dollars of resources to do so. Should we be giving them another $20 million where we have other priorities to recover from in and from this pandemic. I am asking you to prioritize this money towards highways, towards our children, all of those different places that we know need propped up that don't have the additional resources that Parks and Wildlife have. I listed all of those resources, not all of them, I only listed a handful of those resources like lottery funds, habitat stamp funds, some federal funds. I'll quit there, that they can fund these projects themselves and we can do the work of the state and the people that don't have those resources. I ask you to vote no on Senate Bill 112.
Further discussion. Are there any no votes on Senate Bill 112? Senators Scott, Lundin, Cook, Sonnenberg, Woodward, Gardner, Minority Leader Holbert, Liston, Kirkmeyer, Smallwood, Senator Gardner. With a vote of 24 ayes, 10 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 112 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 112. Senators Buckner, Moreno, Hansen, Winter, Bridges, Janal, Story, Pedersen, Hawkes Lewis. Please add the president. Mr. Pineda, please read the title to Senate Bill 55.
Senate Bill 55 by Senator Moreno and Representative Ransom concerning the collection of debts owed to the state and in connection therewith reducing an appropriation.
Senator Moreno.
Thank you, Madam President. I move Senate Bill 55 on third reading and final passage.
Is there any discussion on Senate Bill 55? Are there any no votes on Senate Bill 55? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 55 is passed. Co-sponsors on Senate Bill 55. Mr. Pineda, please read the title to Senate Bill 49.
Senate Bill 49 by Senator Moreno and Representative McCluskey concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Public Safety.
Senator Moreno.
Thank you, Madam President. I move Senate Bill 49 on third reading and final passage.
Is there further discussion on Senate Bill 49? Are there any no votes on Senate Bill 49? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 49 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Cook, Simpson, Lee, Gardner, Heisey, Kirkmeyer, Woodward, Kolker, Lundin, Priola, Scott, Buckner, Janal, General Orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Oh, pardon me. Correction. Mr. Pineda, please read the title to Senate Bill 53.
Senate Bill 53 by Senators Moreno and Zenzing and Representative McCluskey and McClatchy concerning adjustments to school funding for 2020-21 budget year in connection therewith making appropriations.
Thank you, Madam President. I move Senate Bill 53 on third reading and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Senator Lundin.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I did not speak on this, didn't pull it off the second consent yesterday, and I am a yes vote on this bill. But there's an important inflection point in what's happening that I think I would like to call out for all of us. What this particular bill is, which provides additional funding to the schools, is an acknowledgement in the weakness of the way that we fund students in our public education system, and also in the way we fund schools. The reality is, the pandemic has caused a lot of changes and challenges, and it's given us insights and visibility into things that we maybe didn't see or know clearly previously. And one of those places that it's helped us understand is the disconnect between the almost $13 billion, all sources in, that we spend on public education in Colorado every year. 30,000 students approximately opted out, redshirted, stayed home, went to homeschool, went to private school, went somewhere else. Because for their familial reasons, because of the academic needs of that child, they made a judgment to do something different. And within the public education system, there was an enormous reshuffling. Students left this school perhaps for that school, this type of school for another type of school. The charter schools had a significant increase in attendance. Specifically, multi-district online charter schools, the folks that were good at already, that were already in the business of providing online education, a lot of schools went to them because they already knew what they were doing. They had it figured out, they had it wired. So as that shuffling happened, and this is what's been revealed through the process, is the money was somewhat intractable, intransigent. It went to where the system says it should go, and this bill codifies that further. It says no matter how many students you may have lost 3%, 5%, 10% of your student population, even though that has happened and you are serving fewer students than what you thought you were going to serve, and the count that you took in October said you were going to serve, we, the state of Colorado, the people of Colorado, will come up with the extra cash to make sure that you will not get clipped by more than 2%. Make sure everybody gets within 2% of what they expected, even if they're serving a significantly lower number of students. Their decline was more than 2%. So my argument isn't that that's wrong. My argument is pay attention. Look what's going on. Instead of propping up the system, which is about students, we should be making sure that our formula, the way that we fund education, is in fact about education, which is inherently something that the nexus of education requires the student. We must connect the funding flow to the student and not to our system. So I say yes on this bill with an asterisk, and the asterisk is the acknowledgement that the way we have done it for years and decades is out of step with what we need to be doing to best serve the needs of the students of Colorado. And at the end of the day, that's what public education is about. It's about the students. So, yes on the bill, footnote to a bigger conversation, and a glimpse into an opportunity for us to think more clearly about developing and building better funding policy, and therefore providing better learning opportunities for students whom we seek to serve. Thank you, Madam President.
Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Madam President. And I just want to offer up my agreement with my good colleague from Monument. Yes, I figured out where he lives, as opposed to yesterday. And in addition to that, I'd like to add some additional context. Part of this bill is not just about the drop in enrollment. It's also about the challenges that we had around counting our at-risk students. And that challenge is just a product of the way that we currently count our at-risk students in our formula. So right now, we use free lunch as a way of creating a proxy for low income, for at-risk. And this year, because of the pandemic, students were not attending school in person. They were attending at home. And so opportunities to collect up that paperwork in which students apply for free or reduced lunch were not there. In addition to that, the federal government came along and said, we recognize the challenges of students having to learn remotely and how difficult this is going to be on our low-income and at-risk families, where they rely on free and reduced lunch for sustenance at school. And as a result, they came forward and said, we're just going to offer it. And we're just going to make it available to everybody during this very difficult time. And so there really wasn't a need to go through the process of filling out that free and reduced lunch paperwork. As a result, last spring, when we were coming up with the budget, we used traditional thinking around poverty, at risk, low income, and how it's normally aligned with changes in our economy. So when there is a lot of job loss, when families whose parents lose their jobs, we expect those numbers to go up. And as a result, we therefore predicted that that's what would happen, and we accounted for that in our formula. Unfortunately, when we did not recoup back that paperwork, what ended up happening within our formula is that the state saved money because we did not account for those at-risk students. One of the things that I like about this bill, in particular, is that we recognized that that wasn't necessarily the case, that that wasn't actually reflecting reality. We all know, because we have heard from our constituents, we are in touch with our communities, we know that this pandemic was extremely hard on our economy and our families, and that those at-risk students really are there, and that the actual number of at-risk students actually went up. We just had a difficulty in our mechanism with how we account for that in our formula. So I would agree with the senator from Lundin. Senator from Lundin. I was trying so hard. Yes. We might consider as an amendment to this bill a renaming of the town of Monument to Lundinville, but I agree with him.
There will not be permission for that third reading amendment.
Thank you, Madam President. I agree. We have some difficulty. We have some challenges with our formula and how we reflect the lived experiences of our children as they attend school. And so I want to thank the body here today for accepting what we believe is an elegant solution and trying to make sure that all students receive the supports and the resources that they need, even though there were some hiccups in how we went about counting them. So thank you for elevating the conversation. Thank you for also taking this aspect of the bill into consideration. And I please beg of you that you pass this bill today.
Senator Rankin.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. School finance, Madam, President Pro Tem, my apologies, Madam. Find me, please. A supplemental often sets the stage for the bigger conversation of what's coming. This is the supplemental. Education, K-12, is our biggest budget item. It's about $4.5 billion of general fund money, $13 billion overall spending. So it deserves our maximum consideration. So first of all, my thanks to the Joint Budget Committee staff and the Ledge Council staff for working through this this supplemental. It was extremely complicated because we really don't know how many students are there. We've heard that discussion. And we really, had to deal with the mix of students moving districts and so forth. However, what I want to do is just kind of set the stage from this bill forward, and it really is pertinent to this bill because it builds on it. But on Monday, JBC has figure setting for K-12. And, this is really a big deal this year. And we'll, I hope, have extensive discussions on the floor. But, and thanks to Senator from Monument and Representative McCluskey, do we say the representative from Summit County? I'm not sure how we refer to him, but yeoman's work for 3 years, an interim committee that wrestled with this issue of the formula and school funding. And no bill, no resolution. However, good ideas that came out of it. So let me just talk about 3 things that I often talk about from here. First of all, the taxation system. Uniform mill levies don't exist. Some districts pay 2 mills, some pay 27 mills on the same house. That's unfair to the taxpayers. And then let's talk about mill levy overrides. Is there a negative factor? Is there? Is there when $1.5 billion on top of school finance is collected and spent locally? However, the ability to do that is based on how many assets exist in that district, asset value per pupil. So some districts are quite well off, quite rich, pay their teachers quite well. Others really struggle because they cannot pass an override, and if they did, it wouldn't collect any money. Pueblo, 60, terrible dilemma. No overrides, can't raise one. Aspen, 25% of their budget is overrides. Is that fair? That's unfair to students. Money does matter. It matters to pay the students, to provide all sorts of issues. So we ought to fix that. There are ways to fix it. I hope we can propose those in the School Finance Act this year. And then there's the formula. Do you realize that of that whole $100 million, well, that's not true, 10%, $1 billion of school finance is spent on something called cost of living. Totally distorts the system, totally distorts it. That money ought to be spent equalizing those mill levy overrides. I hope that we propose that this year. In short, we've got 3 major flaws in school finance that we need to fix. I've said here before, and I'll say it again, our system is unconstitutional and it's immoral. And if we don't fix it, we're not doing our job. So that's the bigger picture. This just sets the stage for it. I hope we can continue and have this conversation.
Minority Leader Holbert.
Thank you, Madam President. For the benefit of those watching or listening online, it may sound like we're having an argument, a debate, but I think thus far we're pretty much not. We have members of the minority and the majority parties, caucuses coming up and saying basically the same things in different ways. Colorado is a unique state, and states are different. We certainly have a lot of debate. We have, from time to time, thousands of teachers that will show up here at the Capitol to protest for higher salaries. And in some states, the legislature somehow sets teacher salaries statewide through legislative efforts. I think West Virginia is one of them. We don't do that here. We're a local controlled state, and teacher salaries are decided by school boards. There's 178 of them. But I want to just add my voice to this discussion, both sides of the aisle. I am voting yes on this bill. It seems like a reasonable way that we can fix our complex system in this odd situation that we are in. But I want to also, echo support from the good senator from Lundeenville, Monument. To have the funding follow the child, that sounds like maybe something folks from my side of the aisle would support, and maybe some folks would say, oh, they're talking about vouchers. No. Right now, we have a base PPR. It's in the range of $8,000 per child, and if 30,000 of those kids are no longer accounted for, that's about $240 million. That's a lot of money. But when we account for that, it's not just the $8,000, it's then we start looking at the percentage of population in a school district who qualify for free and reduced lunch or as English language learners or the high cost areas. And all of a sudden the numbers start to shift pretty dramatically based on the percentage of total population in a district. I think, and I've thought for years, maybe since I got here in 2011 over in the House, that the system might work better if a child, a son or daughter, were worth the same amount no matter where he or she went to school. But that's not how it works. Another unique thing about Colorado is we're an open enrollment state. I've seen stories on social media, and take that for what it's worth. It can be, these stories, one or more of them, could be completely false. But I've read stories of a mother, I think in Ohio, who apparently was arrested for sending her child to a district outside of the district that she lived in. Clearly, if that story is true, Ohio, or if I have the state wrong, whatever state it was, doesn't have open enrollment. Parents in Colorado can do that. You can send your kid to any one of those 178 school districts so long as they have room and you can get your child to that district. So the son or daughter can, and very often is, worth more on one side of an imaginary line than the other side of an imaginary line. And there's 178 of those geographical areas. So how much is your son or daughter worth in a district that's near your house versus another district? I would very much like to see, the ranking member from Education, the good senator from Monument, I'd like to see his idea advanced, and I'd like to see it not just be a minority caucus idea. I would love to have this conversation, and I think we're closer to it than I've seen in the past 10 years in the legislature. Could we look at reinventing how we fund our public schools and make that child worth the same amount? And maybe we still have factors. If that child qualifies for free and reduced lunch, he or she is worth more. If she's an English language learner, she's worth more. If the area that the child goes to school in is a high-cost area, he or she is worth more. But right now what we're trying to do is accommodate or account for 30,000 heads, people, children, who we can't figure out where they went. Were some of those double counted? I asked that on opening day, the second opening day. We don't know. Am I making the accusation that kids were being double counted or triple counted and showing up in different schools on count days? No. I think it's theoretically possible. Did some of those kids go to private school or homeschool or move to a different state? We don't know. Where'd they go? This is important. I think if we had funding following the child, if each son or daughter, each student in our public school system, K through 12, the unique identifying number or whatever, but if we had that kind of accounting, I think that would be inherently more accurate than having pajama day or in movie day and all the other enticements that our public schools use to get kids to show up on that day so that they can count them. Because every one of those is worth at least $8,000. And that's a lot of money when you start adding it all up. So thank you, Madam President, for your patience. I will be a yes vote on this. Thank you to the Joint Budget Committee. Thank you for the experts who have looked at this issue. The chair of the Education Committee, thank you, Madam Chair. There's a lot of expertise here, but this is an imperfect system and it could work better. And I think the key to that would be to have the funding follow the child and have the factors look at what that child qualifies for based on who he or she is and the demographics of that child, rather than look at geographic areas called school districts and look at the population. Maybe there's even some factoring that would still exist because of those higher populations. But I think we need to look at the funding following the child. Thank you, Madam President. Ask for an aye vote.
Any further discussion on Senate Bill 53? Are there any no votes on Senate Bill 53? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 53 is passed. Co-sponsors: Senators Winter, Story, Pedersen, Buckner, Lee, Gonzalez, Fields, Janal, Simpson, Sonnenberg, Kolker, Bridges, Heisey. Please add the president. Senators Danielson, Hawkes Lewis, all right, I think we're good. General orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is adopted, and the Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar, and Senator Zenzinger will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title of all the bills on general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar?
Senate Bill 24 by Senators Hawkes Lewis and Representative Sullivan concerning recognition of the 30th day of March as a commemorative state holiday and in connection therewith designating the 30th day of March as Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day. Senate Bill 4 by Senators Garcia and Representative Escar concerning concurrent legislative jurisdiction over real property constituting the United States Army Pueblo Chemical Depot.
Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for the adoption of all the bills on the consent calendar and their associated committee reports, which includes Senate Bill 24, Senate Bill 4, along with the local government committee report.
Is there any discussion on any of those committee reports? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of all the committee reports on the general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the reports are adopted. Is there any discussion on any of the bills that are on consent calendar? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of all the bills on the second orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All of those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bills are adopted. Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion is for the committee to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee will rise and report.
Did I door that?
The Senate will come to order. Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
Madam President, your committee of the whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills being the second reading thereof and makes the following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 24, Senate Bill 4 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed in the calendar for reading and final passage.
Senator Zinzinger.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the report.
The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, the committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 24, Senate Bill 4 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. General Orders second reading of bills, Senator Zinzinger.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of General Orders second reading of bills.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. That motion is adopted and the Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of General Orders second reading of bills, and Senator Zinzinger will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 79?
Senate Bill 79 by Senator Sonnenberg, Representative Pelton, concerning the sale of animals from consumption to inform end consumers in a manner that exempts the sale from certain laws.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 79 and the report on the Committee of Health and Human Services, I believe it was.
That's correct. To the report.
Thank you. The report, we just made some changes to add buffalo as well and goats, as those are also livestock products. Cleaned up a couple language, nothing major. Ask for the adoption.
Is there any further discussion on the Health and Human Services Committee report? Seeing none, all those in favor of the report say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it and the report is adopted. There is an amendment on the desk. Will the clerk please read Amendment L002?
Amendment L002.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L002. Members, L002 is an amendment to rearrange some words because evidently lawyers didn't like the way I did the liability portion. You know what? Madam Chair, may I ask for a senatorial 5? I brought the wrong amendment down.
We will take a senatorial 5 and determine whether or not we're going to withdraw this amendment. All right, we are back. Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I withdraw L002.
That amendment is withdrawn.
And you do have an amendment, new amendment at the desk, Madam Chair.
And we have another amendment that is on the desk. That is Amendment L003. Will the clerk please read the amendment?
Amendment L003 to
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L003. And members, what this does was rearrange. In the original bill, it talked about animals, animal shares, and meat being maybe causing damage by inadequately cooking or improperly preparing. Some friends in the lobby thought that the improper preparation should be before those three things. Obviously, this is way above my pay grade. I'm not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be a lawyer, but I will yield to those that understand this, and I would ask for your aye vote.
Senator Gardner.
Thank you. Well, I have a technical lawyer question for, is medium rare adequately cooking, or is that inadequately cooking?
Senator Sonnenberg.
Or overcooking?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and that is a great question. What I will tell you is that with this language, it doesn't matter, because you can cook it however you want. If you want it rare and you drag that cow streaming across the grill and then eat it, that's fine too. This doesn't deal with that. This allows you to do it any way you want.
Senator Gardner.
Well, I have some family members who love steak tartare, so this is a comfort to us. I would say to the good senator from Sterling. Thank you.
Senator Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just a question to the sponsor. Suppose the meat that is sold is adulterated, not attributable to the consumer, but to the rancher, farmer, or purveyor of the meat. Suppose it has salmonella, suppose it has some other disease when it's sold and it infects the consumer. Do they have a right of action against the seller?
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and the answer to that is no, because we're not actually selling meat. And I'll give you a little background so you understand now. USDA has requirements, federal requirements, that say that you cannot sell meat unless it's gone through a USDA inspection process. So what this bill does is creates, with the blessing of USDA, a selling of shares before the animal is harvested. So I can sell a tenth, I can sell a quarter, I can sell a half a beef before it's harvested, and then they are responsible for how that meat is prepared, how that meat is harvested and butchered, and so that is their responsibility through their own processing, whoever they hire to do the processing. So it would not have any effect. You still cannot override federal law that says that if you sell meat that's already been processed, you have to have that done through a USDA inspection. This just allows you to sell meat. For example, if I wanted to sell meat to the majority leader, I would have him buy a portion, a half of that animal ahead of time, and then we would determine where to have it harvested. This allows that to happen. Ask for your aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on Amendment L003? Senator Gardner. Senator Quorum? Okay. So seeing no further discussion on the amendment, all of those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the amendment is adopted. Senator Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Question for the sponsor, because getting the animal to the slaughterhouse, getting a date has been extremely difficult. As an example, right now I have colleagues that are asking for a butcher date for a calf that has not been born yet because we're so far out. Will this help alleviate any of that problem?
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill doesn't do anything to alleviate that backlog, but what it does do is create an incentive of some for more packers and options to be available to come forward to meet those needs. And you're exactly right. I can tell you that the last beef that I tried to get into a house to process, a slaughterhouse, was January of '22. I currently take mine to a place in Nebraska to have my beef slaughtered 2 hours into Nebraska, just simply because of that issue we're dealing with. I'm hoping this makes it easier for others to open up to have more opportunities to harvest, so that consumers can actually know where their beef's coming from.
Senator Janot.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I rise in support of Senate Bill 79. We heard it in Health Committee, and it really does create more income for ranchers, for farmers, you know, the need for this type of processing is going to save money all around. It's really a win-win situation. And not only is it going to help the farmers and ranchers, but it was also mentioned that 4-Hers, seeing that they are not able to show at this point, are able to benefit from this bill as well, as far as processing goes. So it's a good bill, and I support it.
Senator Hansen.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And colleagues, I am very supportive of this approach. As a longtime customer when I lived in Kansas of this exact modality, I think this is a great change for the state of Colorado. But what I want to know is why we have a safety clause on this bill. Shouldn't the voters of Colorado have a chance to weigh in on this? I really would like the sponsor to explain why he's taking the voters of Colorado. Why don't they get a voice? Why don't they get a chance to petition? I'd love for the sponsors to please address that problem.
It doesn't look like the sponsor is lined up and ready to respond to that, so I guess I will go to Senator Gardner.
Thank you. Well, I want to answer that for the sponsor. There are some of us who have dietary restrictions, and one of mine is that I need to consume a fair amount of medium rare beef, and that's a health matter. And the health of many Coloradans depends upon having access and being able to purchase beef on the hoof. So I believe it is a public health matter, and a safety clause is appropriate.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator, I see you have memorized my speech over the number of years on how we do this and why the safety clause is overly abused. And the truth is, I have struggled with this on this bill as well. Talking with a number of folks, their argument was similar to the good senator from El Paso County, that this truly is, when we had shelves empty during the pandemic, this is important that we get food to the people. So I succumbed to the pressure and indeed put a safety clause on. Please forgive me, voters of Colorado.
So do as I say, not as I do. Senator Simpson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I stand and rise in support of Senate Bill 79 as a fellow producer, like my good friend, the senator from Sterling, and obviously a daily consumer of beef. I rise in support and recognize what this means to me as a grower and my community in the San Luis Valley. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Senator Fields. There is an amendment on the desk. Will the clerk please read Amendment L004?
Amendment L004 to Senator.
Senator Fields.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Amendment L004.
To the amendment.
L004 basically is a simple amendment. I have had the opportunity to share this amendment with the bill sponsor. This bill came before our committee, Health and Human Services, and we had a very rich, robust, and informative hearing. And I want to thank the bill sponsor for sharing all the, or just responding to all the questions that we had. And basically what this amendment does, it removes fish as it relates to this Senate Bill 79. And the reason I'm recommending that we remove fish is because they're not raised like traditional farm animals. If you know anything about, and I know very little, but when you talk about fish in a fish farm, you know, it's different. They commingle, you know, in this water pond, and the way they eat, and the waste. It's been recommended from the Colorado Department of Public Safety that we should strip fish because they're not like cows, they're not like sheep, they're not like rabbits. And so sometimes they harbor botulism and other parasites and infections that are unlike what you might see in farm animals that are raised. So members, I'm asking you to vote in favor of Senate Bill L004 as an amendment.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As we try, as the good senator from Aurora tries to remove fish from this for concerns, the fact of the matter is we do have fish farms in Colorado. I don't know how prevalent it is for them to want to sell it like farmer markets or consumers, but from my perspective, it's not a big deal either way. Vote however you see fit. I obviously respect the senator from Aurora. Thank you for sharing that with me. If you want to take fish out of this bill, your call. Neither way to me. Fish is, oh, I better quit there.
Senator Liston.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Members, just a small point of interest. If any of you have been down to the state penitentiary in and around Canyon City, the inmates down there, just so you know this, they raise fish, tilapia, and anytime that you're eating tilapia at most restaurants, Safeway, wherever you buy tilapia, virtually all of the tilapia in Colorado, I can't say all of it, but most all of it, is raised in a fish farm by the inmates down in Canyon City. Just a point of interest, if that makes a difference.
Thank you, Senator Liston, for confining your comments to the amendment. Minority Leader Holbert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I at first thought this amendment a little bit fishy, but on further reflection, I really don't see that it is a loaded tripe, and it probably does make this bill a better bill. So to avoid a even more bull on a cow amendment, please vote aye.
Seeing no further discussion, the motion is the adoption of Amendment L004. All of those in favor say aye. Those opposed? No? The ayes have it and the amendment is adopted. Is there any further discussion? Senator Fields.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a good bill. And the reason it's a good bill is because this is a practice that is already taking place, not just in the state of Colorado, but across our country. And so basically what this bill does, it codifies in our statute that it's legal in reference to what's taking place right now. So I'm urging an aye vote on Senate Bill 79.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 79. All those in favor say aye. Those no? The ayes have it, and Senate Bill 79 is adopted. Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the committee is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the committee will rise and report. All my best material.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee has met and had one bill under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
Madam President, your committee of the whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 79 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for the adoption of the report.
The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, the committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 79 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Consideration of governor's appointments, consent calendar. Will the clerk please read all the appointments listed on the consent calendar?
Member of the Energy Impact Assistant Advisory Committee for a term expiring August 24, 2024, Tony Haas of Trinidad, Colorado, appointed. Member of the Transportation Commission for a term expiring July 1st, 2023, Elizabeth Hickey, JD of Colorado Springs, Colorado, in order to serve as a commissioner from the 9th Transportation District and occasioned by the resignation of Irving Halter of Colorado Springs, Colorado, appointed.
Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for the confirmation of all the appointments listed on the consent calendar, which includes members of the Energy Impact Assistance Advisory Committee and the Transportation Commission.
Is there any discussion on the Energy Impact Assistant Advisory Board or the Transportation Commission? The motion is the confirmation of all the appointments on the consent calendar. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, those appointments are confirmed. Governor's appointments. Will the clerk please read the appointment to the Energy Impact Assistant Advisory Committee?
Member of the Energy Impact Assistance Advisory Committee for a term expiring August 24, 2024, Sarah Laughlin of Erie, Colorado, appointed.
Senator Winter.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for the appointment of Sarah Laughlin of Erie, Colorado to the Energy Impact Assistance Advisory Committee.
Is there any discussion? The motion is the confirmation of the governor's appointment to the Energy Impact Assistant Advisory Committee. Are there any no votes? Senator Scott. These are no votes on the governor's appointment to the Energy Impact Assistant Advisory Committee. With a vote of 33 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, and 1 excused, that appointment is confirmed. Will the clerk please read the appointment to Majority Leader Fenberg?
Thank you, Madam President. I move that we proceed out of order and take up the governor's appointment to the Public Utilities Commission.
We will proceed out of order. The motion is to proceed out of order to take up the member of the Public Utilities Commission of the State of Colorado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. We will proceed out of order. Will the clerk please read the appointment to the Public Utilities Commission?
Member of the Public Utilities Commission of the State of Colorado, effective January 12, 2021, for term expiring January 11, 2025, Eric Blank of Boulder, Colorado, Democrat, and to serve as chair appointed.
Senator Winter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for the appointment of Eric Blank of Boulder, Colorado, to be a member of the Public Utilities Commission of the State of Colorado.
Is there discussion? The motion, Senator Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
President.
I'll pay the fine. I want to talk to you a little bit about appointments. And I totally understand the golden rule. Those with the gold rule. I understand that the minority gets their say and the majority gets their way. But I've got to tell you, it's not always easy to be right, but it is always right. And I'm a little concerned with this appointment, as he's a co-founder of an energy company, and I understand that he says that I'm not managing it, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. That the fact is the potential for a great deal of revenue is available because of this. I do believe that is a conflict of interest. And I know we have a little program here in the Senate. I mean, I think I heard one a couple of days ago. The good senator from Commerce Senate, he did a 17C, a conflict of interest. So we do know what conflicts of interest are. So I think he's well qualified. But I think it is wrong to put someone in such a powerful position that could financially gain. So I'm going to ask for a no vote on this. I think it's, I understand the executive office has the right to do this, but it is our job in the Senate to have oversight on these appointments. And we all want what is best for Colorado. And I'm very concerned that down the road, decisions will be made that will come back and says, well, the General Assembly just blindly rubber stamps everything that comes along. I think we have to take our responsibility serious. If we are not going to do that, we need to run legislation that says the executive branch appoints anyone they want with no oversight from the legislative branch. That way, we are not responsible. But that's not how it is. We are responsible to the citizens of Colorado to represent them on these commissions. We talk about diversity. Isn't there a person of color that is just as qualified to take this high-paying job? I don't know. I didn't see the applications. But we really need to seriously work with the governor's office on these appointments where the citizens of Colorado feel that they have a voice. And due to the fact of a conflict of interest, I am a no vote on this appointment.
Senator Cook.
Thank you, Madam President.
I rise in opposition as well and ask for a no vote. The good senator from Western Slope mentioned diversity. Well, there's other kinds of diversity, and that's political thought diversity. Once again, the governor is, I think, skirting the intent of the law. He's appointing another Democrat, and we already have one and an unaffiliated from the West Slope, a technical unaffiliated. All he did was give to Democrats and wrote hit pieces against Republicans. So now, basically a third to a half of the people in this state of Colorado still have no voice on the PUC. You know, we need to represent the entire state, all the people of this state, and not just one political party. So I would ask for a no vote as well. Let's get some diversity in there, some diversity of political thought. So I would ask for a no vote.
Senator Hansen.
Thank you very much, Madam President. And colleagues, I wanted to share just a few additional thoughts on this appointment. I believe the Senate is doing its job here. And in fact, last year, we rejected an appointment that the governor made to the PUC. This is not a rubber stamp. I think we have demonstrated our independence, and we will continue to do so on appointments. And in the PUC's case, we've done it recently. So I don't believe that that is a fair point in this particular matter. The other thing I would say on the idea of conflict of interest, I think it is a fair question to ask. It is one that we should scrutinize, and I believe has been scrutinized in this process. My understanding is that the nominee does own shares in a company which he was part of founding and building, but no longer has any controlling interest in that company, doesn't have any decision-making ability in that company, and like all of us, has to disclose if we own shares. Perfectly reasonable. I am guessing members of the Colorado Senate own shares in energy companies. And we have to disclose that, as is proper. And if we feel like there's a conflict, we can come and abstain from a vote. And the same process is available to our Public Utility Commission. The last thought I want to share with you is the importance of independence of the Public Utility Commission. This is not an extension of the executive branch. It's not an extension of the legislative branch. It is an independent, constitutionally created commission that is established to act for the entire state of Colorado in the ratepayers' interest. I have had a chance to talk with the nominee on several occasions. I believe he is qualified. I believe he will do that job and do it with the independence of thought that is required. And I urge you to support this nomination to the Public Utility Commission.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. And I've been racking through my brain, even though at my age, my memory doesn't seem to always be as good as it used to be. Help me remember which PUC appointment we opposed last year or that we did not confirm, because I don't remember that. I remember there were a number of appointments that were planning on coming forward that then were left off the calendar because they didn't have the votes to pass. And the way this governor has worked is he has removed those appointments and then reappointed them so they can continue to serve. So your help understanding which PUC we did not confirm last year, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Senator Heisey.
Thank you, Madam President. You know, in a discussion with our nominee here, very bright guy, knows his stuff. I will absolutely concede that. But he made the statement that he's all in on green energy. That doesn't particularly bother me. But what I'm really looking for is somebody that is really all in on taking care of the consumer. Who's going to look out for my seniors that are on fixed incomes and are paying 47% more on their utility bill than that same senior in the Denver metro area? Who's going to look out for the single parent who's raising their children, sending them to school, and is paying higher utility rates? I really am looking for somebody on the PUC that's going to be looking out for the consumer, going to guarantee some dependability, reliability, and affordability of energy now and in the future. So I urge a no vote.
Further discussion. The motion is the confirmation of the Public Utilities Commission. Are there any no votes? Senators Cook, Gardner, Scott, Simpson, Heisey, Kirkmeyer, Liston, Coram, Sonnenberg, Woodward, Minority Leader Holbert, Rankin, Smallwood, Lundin. With a vote of 20 ayes, 14 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, that appointment is confirmed. Majority Leader Finberg.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to lay over the remainder of the calendar until Monday, March 1st, 2021.
The motion is to lay over the remainder of the calendar until Monday. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. No. The aye has it, and we will lay over the balance of the calendar until Monday. The following change in bill sponsorship will occur. Senator Rankin will be added as the Senate co-prime sponsor with Senator Hawk as Lewis on Senate Bill 24. Would the choir please assemble? We are celebrating several birthdays today. I'm sure that all of our members experience the sheer glee of being serenaded by our remarkable choir. Please join us with the choir in lead in wishing Senators Finberg, Gardner, Holbert, Smallwood, Buckner, Rodriguez, and Coleman the happiest of birthdays that have already passed, but hopefully will come again. Choir, the well is yours.
Okay. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, all of you. Happy birthday to you.
Announcements. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, I know that many of us enjoy coffee in this chamber. And I had a conversation earlier this week with the good senator from Montrose about improving the quality of our coffee in this chamber. And thanks to him, he will be bringing some Colorado roasted coffee for us this coming week. However, that coffee is not free, my friends.
And so I would like to invite all of us in this chamber to dig deep, y'all. We're going to take up a collection plate. Everyone except the good senator from Boulder proper will be allowed to drink said coffee. No, I'm kidding. Everyone will be welcome to make a contribution so that we can have some really good, fine coffee. Thank you all, and I yield to the good senator from Montrose.
Senator Quorum.
Thank you, Madam President. I got to remember who's up there. Just to let you know, I am the transportation of that good coffee. It is not my coffee. Thank you.
But it's good coffee.
It's good coffee.
Senator Zinzinger.
Thank you, Madam President. I will actually step back and let the chair of the Statutory Revision Committee make this announcement.
Senator Woodward.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a reminder that the Statutory Revision Committee will meet upon the adjournment of both houses today. There is an error in the calendar. We will be meeting in room 357, not room 352. So as soon as the House adjourns, we will meet 15 minutes thereafter in room 357.
Further announcements. Colleagues, please join me in welcoming Senator Tate back to the floor. Further announcements. Senator Fields.
Thank you, Madam President. Members of the Senate Health and Human Service Committee, we're going to be meeting upon adjournment. We're going to be meeting 15 minutes after adjournment, and basically it's a joint health and joint budget committee meeting that's going to be held in the old state library. And we have several presentations. One presentation will be on the wait list for persons with intellectual developmental disability, and another presentation on the division of insurance related to mental health parity and addiction. So 15 minutes, we'll see you there at the Old State Library. Thank you.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask for a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Members, I want to take a moment. I'm taking this silly thing off right now. I want to take a moment to talk a little bit about what we're seeing in agriculture in rural Colorado and how proud I am of the agriculture industry and how frustrated I am at the most recent attacks by our governor on this industry. Through a proclamation this last week, he declared March 20th meat-free holiday, a holiday in the state of Colorado for meat-free. I get that. Meat Out Day, he calls it. He is going to ask people to not eat meat and to eat, what are they called, processed animals or processed plants. Let me just share with you the ingredients of those things that he wants you to eat. For example, that burger that is meatless has soy protein concentrate, coconut oil, sunflower oil, natural flavors, potato protein, methacellulose, yeast extract, cultured dextrose, food starch, modified soy, legumoglobulin, something like that, salt, soy protein isolate, mixed tocopherols, zinc, gluconate, thiamine hydrochloride, sodium, ascorbate, niacin, pyridoxine hydroxychloride, gosh sakes, riboflavin, vitamin. Do you know why they have to add those? They add those because they lose the benefit of fresh vegetables because they process them. So you have to add them back in. Fine. I understand elections have consequences, and we elected a governor with an extreme agenda, and that's what the people of Colorado wanted. What I'm asking you, ladies and gentlemen and colleagues, is to stand up for ag. Agriculture adapts to what the consumer needs and what the consumer wants. When agriculture products are no longer in demand, they move to another product. And we do very, very well at addressing those needs. I'm a huge supporter, and I will tell you the vast majority of Coloradans are huge supporters of a balanced diet. The reason I bring this up is not because that we have a problem with people wanting plant-based diets. The reason I bring this up is the national perception now against Colorado and Colorado agriculture and the policies that are negative towards agriculture. I am going to read to you, with your permission, Madam President. You know, the stock show has been struggling to keep its livestock show here in Colorado. And Oklahoma City has been dying to try and get their hands on our livestock show from the National Western Stock Show. This was received this morning. The Hereford Association just sent around a note to all board members in advance of their vote that Colorado governor is promoting a meat-free day on March 20. Responses from their board that I have intercepted all are promoting this as the last straw and are voting to go to Oklahoma City over the National Western Stock Show. I am told the vote will happen soon, just for your information. That's unacceptable. The governor of Oklahoma pointed it out very well. We can't have leadership in this state throw the number 2 industry in this state under the bus. Yes, it makes me angry. That's my business. That's my neighbor's business. That's the entire rural economy where I live and the district I represent. The one positive thing about this, and I'm going to end on a positive note, and I'm going to get out of your way so you can get on to your weekend. The positive note of this is, in the last 24 hours, we have seen county commissioners drafting resolutions up, I don't know what we're up to, maybe 20 now, in support and creating a local March 20th Beef Day. There are places all around the state asking me to come speak at their event, which they are having a barbecue and going to promote meat. He has probably done more to advance meat sales in Colorado for March 20th I'm anxious to see the demographics, or not necessarily the demographics, but the final numbers, how many people went on the pro-beef side or pro-meat side as opposed to the meat-out day. That's a positive to this. The downside to this is our reputation as a state and as policymakers and government of the state, that we reject agriculture and other states will take over where we left off. Members, I'm asking you to stand up for agriculture. I'm asking you to be vocal for agriculture, to be a part of the solution so that we can bridge that gap as farmers and ranchers in rural Colorado produce the food, the fiber, and the energy that not only this state and this country needs, but the world needs with the products we export. I am asking for your help. Madam President, thank you for giving me the latitude to rail a little, share my emotions. I ask for your help, members.
Senator Quorum.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to act for a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you very much. Thank the good senator from Sterling for pointing this out. It is troublesome to me. Normally, in March, about that date, that week, we are all down on the first floor. Some of us up there are serving you because it is Ag Day in Colorado. Ag Day. We acknowledge and we thank those families that have devoted their lives to feed us as a state and as a nation. It's troubling that this holiday is that week. Now, it looks to me like it is a gesture to agriculture. And frankly, it is the most obscene gesture that can be given. Agriculture, as Governor Hickenlooper said a few years ago, led us out of this recession. Members, today we are being led into depression. That is totally unacceptable. I also have received lots of calls. You can probably look at me and tell me I come from an agricultural background. I'm going to carry that with pride. But I have so many friends, my sidewalk friends, that eat meat because they know the benefits. They know the vitamins, the minerals that their body needs. But most offensive about this, we are promoting a product that the vast majority is not even produced in Colorado. Our elevation and our growing season is too short. I had a friend a couple of years ago tried soybeans, western Colorado, 5,800 feet, didn't mature. Thankfully, he didn't try coconuts. But this is real. This feels like a personal attack on my way of life, my family's history. I don't know what to say. I understand elections, but I also understand right and wrong, and to give this gesture to the farmers and ranchers of Colorado is unacceptable in my world. Thank you, Madam President.
Senator Kirkmeyer.
Thank you, Madam President. I think probably as many of you know.
Senator Kirkmeyer, would you like to request a moment of personal privilege?
I would, please.
Please proceed.
Thank you. As many of you probably know, I'm the former county commissioner of 20 years for Weld County, Colorado. I'm also a former dairy farm owner, fourth generation Coloradoan. And I would just like to say this about Weld County, and I appreciate the good senator from Logan County getting up and speaking and saying it's time to stand up for agriculture. Agriculture in Weld County, 2.5 million acres, of which 75% is devoted to farming and raising livestock. Weld County is Colorado's leading producer of beef, cattle, grain, sugar beets, and is the state's leading dairy producer. Weld is the richest agriculture county in the United States east of the Rocky Mountains. We lead the state in the value of agricultural products sold and is typically in the top 10 richest overall nationally. There are over 3,000 farms, mostly family farms, in Weld County. Over 875,000 acres of cropland that is planted every year. My neighbors to the west like to think of that as open space. Standing up for agriculture in this state is extremely important. It is the #2 economic driver in this state. And for our governor, and yes, I understand elections as well, but for our governor to say that we should have a meat-free day is the last straw. It is just one more attack against my county of Weld County. And we won't be standing for it, but we will be standing for agriculture. And I implore you and urge you to stand for agriculture as well. Thank you.
Senator Fields.
Thank you, Madam President.
Senator Fields, would you like a moment of personal privilege?
Yes, I would like to request a moment of personal privilege.
Please proceed. Thank you, Senator.
In this moment of personal privilege is all about what we've been talking about. And the topic is about having Colorado have a statewide meat-free holiday. I represent a community, Senate District 29, where we don't have a lot of access to fresh fruits and vegetables. To be honest with you, we are in a midst of a food desert. Sometimes the people in my community have to take 3 buses just to get to a grocery store. And so how they get their food is through some of these food trucks. And they're selling tacos or fried chicken or whatever they're selling. I believe in diversity, I believe in choice. But I also believe that for ag, when I think about the labor in the trenches in reference to what it takes to feed and to produce meat, not just for the people of Colorado, let's say it's for the nation, and to declare a day free of meat. Some people can do that, but some people can't. And so I agree with the tone and the topic that has been shared by my colleagues in reference to what this means. We all have choices. If you want to be a vegetarian, be a vegetarian. If you want to have a hamburger, have a hamburger. But to declare a day of no meat, some people can't even get meat, can't get vegetables. Some people are starving. And we're trying to give people this sense of preference. I don't know if you've seen it lately, but when I drive down Colfax coming from Aurora, I see people begging every day for food. And they're not saying, I want a carrot. They're asking for $1 or $2 or some change so they can just feed themselves. And sometimes you see a whole family. And we want to have a day of no meat? When people don't have access to vegetables and fruit or meat? Have you seen the lines in reference to people getting boxes of food? There is an issue as it relates to food insecurity in the state of Colorado. We don't have the luxury right now in this COVID-19 environment to say we have a holiday where you can't eat meat. It might be a good idea, but I think it's the wrong approach.
Senator Lundin.
Madam President, thank you. I do not request a moment of personal privilege. I simply have an announcement. May I make my announcement?
Your risk of fine, but go for it, buddy.
Thank you very much. To the prior issue, on my calendar, there is a gathering scheduled for March 20th down in Monument. We're inviting all of you, and you will all, this side of the aisle seems to have mostly emptied out, but they will also get invitations. This is a save the date for March 20th. We're going to be having a grill out down in Monument, previously known as Lundinville, where we will be serving all beef franks, bison dogs, hamburgers, and bison burgers with all the fixins. And here's the catch. All Colorado grown, raised, sourced, and prepared. And we invite you all to come down and have a good time with us on March 20th as we grill down in Monument. Thank you, Madam President.
Senator Simpson.
Thank you, Madam President. A moment of privilege, personal privilege.
Granted, Senator Simpson.
So thank you. Most of you don't know me well yet. And I tend to keep my emotions pretty well packed inside when my bill didn't get full support from my own caucus earlier today. I can understand that and move forward. But look, from a personal perspective, I'm the 4th generation of my family to farm and ranch in the San Luis Valley. My 5th generation son is there today taking care of it. I became a grandparent 2 days after Christmas with a grandson that should be the 6th generation of my family to do this. This is passionate to me. Senate District 35 certainly has way more cows than it has people. This is an agricultural district, and this effort really is offensive to me personally. And I will work diligently to make sure agriculture stays relevant and prosperous in Senate District 35 and Colorado. And I thank my good friend, the senator from Sterling, for starting the conversation this afternoon. I just implore folks to please be sensitive and understand what this means to rural Colorado and to me personally. Thank you, Madam President.
Senator Rankin.
Thank you, Madam President. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Proceed.
So, as a member of the Budget Committee and working on statewide issues, I don't too often get a chance to represent my district, which is a vast part of rural Colorado. And I You know, I appreciate the senator from Sterling raising the issue because it's important. And it brings to mind, you know, me, for the years I've tried to represent rural Colorado, I often point out that, I pointed out to Governor Hickenlooper that he once used the word rural 23 times in his State of the Union message. And I tried to remind him of that when these sorts of issues came up. These almost unintended, certainly without regard to the consequences, statements, bills that support the vast majority of voters up and down the Front Range. I mean, are we to be, is Colorado to be this metropolitan area up and down the Front Range without regard to our heritage and our, you know, great folks who live on the western side and the eastern side of the state, represent about 90% of the land mass and 10% of the voters? Are we really going to do what we often hear, support to rural Colorado? But this kind of comment, this kind of action, without real regard to the consequences, is the kind of thing that we've seen over and over. You know, I often point out that we're not really taking care of the people in transition from fossil fuels. That's important to my area. This is just as important, you know. I mean, agriculture and the oil and gas communities are rural, by and large, by rural enterprises that need to be supported because they support Colorado's heritage. So I just wanted to take a minute and lend my voice because I don't often get a chance to represent rural Colorado because I'm always talking about money and budgets. So thank you.
Any further announcements? Majority Leader Finberg.
Thank you, Madam President. I am not sure if we have bills to read across. So, to be safe, you don't need to be here, but I move that the Senate recess until 12 noon today.
You have heard the motion. See no one opposed. The Senate will stand in recess until 12 noon today.